everyone. Today we are going to talk about history of JavaScript and little bit about today's framework, whatever is there, and we are going to talk about the few of interview questions which are generally asked, so that can be helpful to you. So let's begin. Alright, so history of JavaScript, right? For that I will quickly go through a small website. You can simply Google it about history of JavaScript and then you can start. So what was JavaScript, right? JavaScript was, today it is everywhere, but in 1992 or 1995 time there it was not that much present, right? And that time JavaScript initially was built to do very basic things. Like initially web pages only used to show static HTML content, and JavaScript was meant to help that. That time you had kind of a backend and you had a front end, right? And you have the computer browsers and then there were servers running on some other machine. So whenever you clicked a button or a hyperlink or something, what happened is your request was sent to server, and the server would have processed it, created a complete Java HTML page out of it, and then sent you back complete HTML page. Now in today's world, as JavaScript evolved over time, before forget about today's world, let's talk about when JavaScript evolved. What they did was had a called simple engine in between, where whenever you clicked a button or something, and if server call was not required, even if server call was required, the request was sent, server would send a small part of data. Instead of complete HTML page, it would have sent a small part of data, and that data would load back into your browser. This was a big change because HTML page, as you know, requires header. It might need a lot of more CSS, and you have so many files to be downloaded up and down. And with this, it actually reduced a big amount of communication that was required from server to front end. That was done in one of the 2000. That was done around 2005. And then today's world, that Ajax kind of think about in Angular, right? It is taken like overboard. Now lot of pages and views which you see doesn't actually require server information again and again. So what they did is, in today's JavaScript, we even create our HTML views through JavaScript. That means in Angular, when you write your components and stuff, or in React when you write your views and stuff, it is converted completely into a JavaScript code. And then when it is run on the browser, this JavaScript code actually goes ahead and creates elements on your screen. These pages, this h1 tag, these things all are created from JavaScript. There is no HTML actually stored when you write your Angular component. So this is one of the big thing which you will understand with today's frameworks. Going to the next topic, right? What are the frameworks today it is used over that JavaScript? So as we talked about, there are very basic things which happened. First, JavaScript basics were created, which was going to handle some of the things in UI, and over time it grew. And as it was introduced with Ajax engine, that was a big shift. Coming to today, as I talked about Angular, and mostly in this channel we talk about Angular, there are a lot of frameworks out there which can help you to code your complex dynamic HTML page without calling backend to get HTML pages or stuff on every click and stuff, right? So one of the highest used framework, I would not say framework, this is more like a library, is React. React is why I say library and framework. What is the difference between these two? In JavaScript, a library is a small tool, like jQuery is a library, where jQuery has done some verbose coding inside that, and out for you it gives very simple API. like you can write dollar and then just the path like ID. You can use hash, or if you're, it is like a CSS. The way you can identify elements through CSS, you can identify elements in jQuery too, and then perform operations over them. So dollar element identifier, then you close the bracket and then you write dot, and then you can write click and other stuff. So React is like a library. Why? Compared to Angular, right? React is not a framework. React doesn't contain it doesn't come out of the box with everything like routing or HTTP calls and everything. You can import different packages, whichever you actually like to use, and then use it along with React.js. What React.js provides is basically a way to render your components, and over that you can add things. You want your own custom routing techniques, you want your own custom HTTP call library, you can just attach that all and create your application. One of the downside of React is this single point. When you use all these custom things, there is no single way. Big enterprises like will have problems because there will be no common way applications are built. So there are different teams, they would prefer different libraries. Even within the team there can be different developers who prefer different libraries to work with, and when all of these libraries are composited, an application can be developed a completely different way with other team developing another application. Angular actually, and then there is Vue.js, which has lot of stars. It is even supposed to be more easier than React, but again Vue is also a library, as I was explaining in GitHub. So Vue. After that, I really want to talk about Angular in this, because this is something, if you study this and you go for this, most of the big enterprises and big companies actually use Angular because it has a common way of doing things. There is a learning curve in Angular. It's different from other libraries. You can learn about JavaScript and completely jump to Angular, React and Vue.js, but Angular has its own way of doing things, and that's why there is a learning curve. But once you get on board with that learning, after you have done those learning things, Angular actually provides a very streamlined way of doing things. Any application developed in Angular, if you know it, you can understand what is going on in there. You know that how routing will be done, what code has been written, or how HTTP calls are done, what coding is done in that. All places RxJS is at the almost core of Angular, where observables and subscriptions are done. You can know about all of those things. So yeah, there are others too, Ember.js and Swift.js. It is also, I'll put this link, you can read about it in detail. But I wanted to generally talk about two basic things in current framework. One is library, one is like a framework, complete thing. Also there are few others like Next.js, which is now more like a server-side programming based on JavaScript, where again we are going back to static pages, where in some of the cases you want your HTML page to render quickly. So as I was saying, using React and stuff and Angular creates a big bundle of file of JavaScript. It's a big file, 3 to 5 MB, and if you have 3G or slower networks, it will take time to load your website, and that time it's more sensible to just send HTML page instead of sending a complete JavaScript. There are solutions that provided in Angular to solve around this, but we'll go into details about them later. We are going to talk about now some of the interview questions which are asked in JavaScript, and just to increase the size of this font. So if you want to try all JavaScript, if you have Angular installed and Node installed in your computer, then it is very easy to do. If not, just install Node and just create a file called index.js or whatever file name you want to call it, right? And then you can simply use simple command, right? Like if you want to start programming in JavaScript, you can do like this. So you have written hello world, anything you like, and simply in terminal you can go ahead and type node space file's name. That's it. 1 second, I didn't save the file, so didn't got saved, and if I run this, you can see hello world is printed. So this way, if you want to quickly test things in JavaScript, if you have written something you want to test it, just create a JS file in a folder and called node space the file name, and that's it. Whatever you write in here will be executed. So let's begin with a few interview questions which are asked in JavaScript. One of the thing is scope. So what is scope and closure? Closure and scope are almost similar thing. Basically it is saying that if I write something like var x, right, and equals to 2, and I write console.log x, so JavaScript internally has to remember that what is the value of x, because we are using it here. What if we move this thing inside a function, right, function, and then we give name as test and test scope, and then we don't pass any parameters, and we simply log x, control V, right, and control S, and then we simply run it. That time, okay, sorry, we have to call this test scope once. If you are writing functions, you have to call it at the end of this name, otherwise it will not execute. So you see that we are still printing 2. How this is happening is, whenever you have written, consider you have written x here and then a function, this function is also saved in JavaScript internally, where it has to remember what were the variables which were at the sibling level. What if I write one more function inside this function, test scope internally, right, and then we write this, control V, remove params, and then call this function, otherwise this will not work, right, and let's print it. So you see there is again 2 written. As I said, it's not just at sibling level, it will remember all way towards I think global level. This we can call as global, and then there is scope which is defined inside this guy. There is a function block. If I write some variables inside this, it will be remembered inside this guy, where y equals to 3, and if I print x comma y, both will be printed. If I print y outside this, it will be saying undefined, console.log y, and then y, it will say that it is undefined, it is not defined inside. Y is basically saying that there is y is not defined here. You have defined y inside test scope, so its existence only is inside this method. It is not outside this method, right? This is little bit about scope. I'm not going too much into details, but if someone asks what is closure, closure is basically that internal functions or wherever the variables are used inside things, inside a function. Closure says that your variables which are declared outside at global level or upper function level will be remembered inside function. We are at, I would say, this is global level, this is first level, this is second level. Then the variable x is still remembered, which was declared outside at the global level. Even if something is declared at internal level, it will be remembered. If I just remove this and save this and simply run this, you can see that we have printed 2 and 3. So even if we have declared something at parent level, it will be remembered inside. So that is closure and scope. Just a little bit of it. There are a lot of things to do inside this, but I will not go into that much detail. Now we'll talk a little bit about questing. So what happens, we'll remove this for now and remove this for now. What happens if I do this, console, and we remove this for now, console.log y, right, and we save it and we run it. So it is saying undefined. As you saw here, it was saying that y is not defined at all, right? Previous example which we had. So if I do just a second. Okay. So in previous examples, I should create new files now after this. So in previous example, when we had y defined inside a method, and then if we try to do this, console dot log and y, right? If I try to do this and execute it, it will say y is not defined. Now when you are accessing variable, which since I was talking about scope, y we have declared inside this function and its existence only is inside this method. I'm just talking about fifth line right now. But when you try to access it outside, it will say that y is not defined. However, we declared y variable inside the function and tried to access it before. That didn't give this error reference y is not defined exception. It simply gave a variable value undefined. What does that mean? In C++, C#, Java, all languages, if you declare a variable, you can't access it before. In compile time only, you will get a squiggly red line and you will say that this is an error. You can't access a variable before you have declared it. But in JavaScript, what happens is, if you have written something like var anywhere inside the function, right? If I have written var here, var x, some value here, whatever vars we have written inside the function, this part LHS of this equation is moved to the top of this method. That is called hoisting. It's like flag hoisting. When you hoist the flag to the top, all the left hand side of declarations are moved on the top of method. But just there is a difference. If I have written z equals to a function, and I would say just a function, and I will just say console.log hello world, right? If I would try to call this function here, z semicolon save, only exception is LHS are moved when it is not a function. LHS part of variable declaration is moved when it is a variable declaration. You are creating an object, you are creating some direct primitive like 3, 6. These kind of declarations will be moved to top, but function declarations with this kind of format, as you have done variable declaration, will not be moved. Again, there is another catch. I'm so sorry that there are so many catches in JavaScript, but I promise you this is the last one. So if we declare a function like this, so there are two ways of declaring a function in JavaScript. One is you write equals to and then you write function and then you write something like this. There is another way to declare a function, that is like this. So now if you try to access it, it will say undefined and then it will even call hello world. How the hell it called hello world? How the hell it called this method? It is because, as I was telling, for variable declaration, where y will be moved to top. If you have function declarations like this, whole function is moved to the top of this basically in hoisting, the whole function will be moved to top. This is crazy, I know, but this is what JavaScript does, and this is the important thing to remember. Again, to repeat at the last time, if you have variable declaration, only the left hand side is moved. If you have function declaration, whole function is moved. If you have function declaration like you have done var fz equals to function and then you have written something, that won't be moved. Three things, right? Alright, good. So this is all about hoisting. So let's rename this file as hoisting, and then we'll create a new one called as arrays. Let me just write this arrays.js. Alright, so let's talk about arrays. So we have, let's say we have ARR equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Crazy thing about arrays in Angular, in JavaScript. multiple crazy things. First thing we'll talk about is that in array you can have numbers and you can have strings and you can have even objects. Anything you like, anything you want. In array, it is not defined in JavaScript that what are you limited to. So if I do console.log arr and simply save this file and run this file node and then arrays.js, you see that there is this. Let's clear it and run it again. So you can see the whole array is printed. This is not faulty, this is not wrong. In JavaScript you can have anything you want to be present in array. First point. Second point, if I say how do I clear an array? Sorry for this, I have a lot of mistakes in this one. Okay, so you can do three things. You can say there is no clear in array, remember that. You can say first way dot length, there is a length property, right? If you see array dot length, you will see that the value is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and if you the array dot length equals to 0, surprisingly whole array is cleared. This is crazy. Generally length should be something you should only access, but this is JavaScript. It has this feature. You can think about it as a bug, or you can think about it as a feature. See, the array became empty. First way. Let's say we comment this out and then let's see another way. Array equals to blank. That's simple enough. That too will make the array empty. Third way. Let's comment this and then let's say array.splice. Splice is a great tool. We'll discuss about this in detail. So it says that where I should start, then it says how many I should delete, how many I should cut out, number of elements to remove. Actually splice returns back a piece of array, whatever functions, whatever you have written here, it just returns it back. So if I say array.length, arr.length, it will simply delete complete array. 0. There are other ways too, which I'll talk about in detail later, right? So there are 3 ways you can do it very easily. Second way, and this is third way. Okay, so that's great. Now let's talk about what happens in 1 second. So what operations are there in an array? Operations. So one operation is push. So we can do arr.push and simply put some items in this one. So if I put 8 in here, the array will be console.log arr. The value will be, let's comment this out for now, save it and then clear and then run this. So the value will be 1 2 3 4 5 and 8 is pushed at the end of it. What if I want to push something on the beginning of array? So we can simply do arr.unshift and 0. This will push at the beginning of array. See, 0 has been pushed at the beginning of array. Then what if is there any other way to push at beginning of array? Obviously we can use splice and 1 second, there is this, so you can, if I want to put something at the, I would say at certain position, let's say if I want to put something at 4th position, if I want to just remove 4th element, I can remove like this. So let's say first this and see the fourth element is now removed. There is no 1 2 3 4, it's just having 3, it has removed fourth element. But what if I want to put something in between? Splice can also be used for one more great thing, that is inserting an item in an array. So we can use simple splice, and then maybe we want to insert at fourth element. Now second thing was how many elements you want to delete. If I say 0, it will not delete anything. And third thing, it is not giving insertion here, so if you just click on down, you'll see that third thing is it can introduce the items which we want to insert. So if I say 10 and save it, it will just insert 10 in between at the fourth position. So this splice is a great tool to work with. There is one more thing which I want to talk about. One second, let's not delete it but comment it out. So one last important thing which I want to talk about is you can even join multiple arrays. If I write arr.push a single item, which I have already done here, 8, right? If I want to push now say 11, and if I say save, it will simply insert 11 as we thought about it. But what if I put an array inside this and push this inside an array? What happens then? 11th is, as I told, in JavaScript array can be anything. It can even have number, string. So why not array also? Array can contain arrays inside. What if I want 11 12 to be not added as an array but specific element? What if I just want it to be like 8 11 12 not inside array? There is something called as spread operator. If you write 3 dots before an array, right, it is flattened out. It is a single it is flattened out. It will just consider it as push 11, push 12 in 2 lines. You can think about it in your mind like this. If you want to flatten the array, if you have multiple arrays inside it, you want to flatten it, you can just write triple dots. There are multiple uses of triple dots. This is called spread operator in JavaScript. But one of the use is when you want to push some kind of array inside the array, but you want it to be in a single, you don't want to have nested arrays inside it, you can just use spread operator. So that's very basic details of array and the call. One last, I think that we will convert. There is a delete operation which we have talked about, clearing mode, but this is just for beginner. We'll go into details later in different session. Let's go to about a small program, string. Let's talk about small program. What if I want to convert ABC to CPA? What do you want to do that? So many people will say this can be done in multiple lines and this can be done in single line. Let's try to do it in a single line. So we have input as ABC, and then we can create a function. This is very easy to do, arrow functions. And just a second here, let's not do arrow function from here. Let's just say params reverse. We'll go into arrow functions now. And let's say str in, and then we simply want to reverse it. So if you try to do reverse, or you can write just ABC in here, ABC. Let it be blank, and let's say const str, let str equals to ABC. Right? Okay, so I missed to type it here, that's why they are happening. So if you try to do str.reverse, there is nothing actually at str.reverse. It is coming as a suggestion, but this is not the method session. You can see method sessions are with small cubes. So there you cannot reverse directly in an string where reverse is present. Reverse are present in array. How do I convert this string to array? Simple. You just write str dot split. There is an operation in string where you can pass just basically a identifier on basis of which you want the string to be splitted into things. If I have written blank value here, it will be splitted with each letter. If I would have written B here, it would have split into A and C. B will be removed. If you have a sentence, if you want to split by space, you can write space here, and that will split the sentence into words. Then after this has been splitted, this whole guy returns an array. Now when I'm writing dot after this, I am performing on that array. So what I am trying to do here is reverse. Now we do have reverse. Great. In reverse you don't need to pass anything. After I have reversed, this reverse will return back an array. Till here we now have splitted our word into small letters, then created a reverse statement, and then we are going to join it back. Array has reverse and join. String has something called as split. Remember that array has reverse and join, string has something called as split. So what we want to join back it on, so we can use blank string again. As we splitted it, so in same way we want to join it back. Array can be used to join. Array join can be used to do lot of things, but for now let's just consider we'll join on blank. So if we say that this whole operation has not changed string, you have to assign it back. At the end, join returned back a new string which you are assigning to it, assigning to an str. We will simply say console.log str, and before that we will say console.log str. Right, and then we can say simply calling this method reverse, and then simple like this. So if we say node string.js, so you can say ABC is converted to CBA. Let's go into little bit more complicated example. So if we say function, I just want to do it fast here. Reverse sentence, and we don't take any parameters, we just write in a sentence let str equals to I love JS. So you can think about, just a second, you can think about what will happen here. I hope you can guess how I can reverse this whole sentence without reversing the words, letters inside it. So for that I can do same thing, copy the whole thing, paste it here, just change this split and join to have spaces. That's it. console.log str, and we'll call reverse sentence and save it. You can see I love JS has been changed to JS love I. There is one, we'll go into much more details later in very advanced kind of string reversals. This is just a basic of it, how you can reverse a string in a single line. I have written so many lines, you can simply write return and then take input as str and convert this whole thing to a single line code also. Let's talk about this keyword, this.js. This is very important in JavaScript. So this is generally asked in many of the interviews I have seen, and it's very easy to do. So let's create a function called foo and write var x equals to 3, and then try to do console. Okay, sorry, I have missed the function keyword here. Function foo and console.log x, and then we simple call foo. Now what do you think will happen if I write node this.js? It will be 3. What if I write Oh sorry, this is very normal, right? What if I write this dot x? It is inside this function, but no, this will give you undefined. In JavaScript, this doesn't relate directly to object, but in the context when it is when it is running from. So if I write var obj and then write x equals to x equal colon 5, that we are creating an object now, and foo equals to, let's name it something else, x foo, the object's foo method. If I put the reference to actual function foo on the top and then simply call obj dot x foo, right, what do you think the output will be? It will be 5. Now this x foo, since we are calling on the object's reference, it understands that this means object. This is an object now, right? Very basic thing. I will not go into details about this. There are a lot of things which happens there, but just to remember, when directly foo is called, you won't have reference to this. Even if I write x equals to 10, you can see that the output will be undefined when I call foo. This is basically to a reference of object which we are calling from. This is very basic thing. We'll go into detail about this in another video. Alright, so I think for today we are done. Sorry, this video was a little bit long than we thought. If you liked, if you want me to create more videos like this, please like, comment, share, and yeah, see you tomorrow. Thank you.